All right, this video is about time in regards to on passive and where we are at the time of the recording of this video. I've heard some things the last couple of days that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because being in construction, remodeling, brick and mortar type things, we already understand that when it comes to building something, anything, it's just going to take time. So, you want to build a relationship with somebody? It's going to take time. For example, you want to build a relationship with me? You can't be eating up all the ice cream. It's going to be a problem. So you have to know your partners, who you're working with, and make sure that everybody is on the same page. You want to cook some food, some good food. It's going to take time. Some people be in the kitchen just prepping for a long time. Cooking that good old chicken taking a long time. Them juicy ribs. Some people can cook ribs for like a day, a half a day. I'm like, wow. And that meat just fall right off the bone. And it takes time. So if you want something good, you want something right, you want something nice, it's probably going to take time and effort to get it the way you like it. So let's get back to this passive thing. So as passive is moving along, you have people coming in with ideas and they're trying to implement these ideas. And all these different teams have to work together to create the whole passive ecosystem. So when I'm building a building, let's say you want to build a apartment unit, three stories. Let's take that for example. First, you have to have the land. The land has to be excavated. The land has to be approved for you to excavate it. That's going to take time. Now you think you have an ideal, you have a design of how the apartment building is going to be. You have to get the engineers. Because what you think you had ready to go, the engineers may come in and say, nah, we have to tweak this. Or the engineers be like, nah, that ain't going to work. Or we should do it this way. The engineers may come in and say, well, because we're at this point in the game, we might as well implement this part because down the line, they foresee improvement. You also have to have your electricians. You have to have your plumbers. You got to have your wall guys. Let's say your wall guys put the wall up and ain't no electricity wires being ran. That's out of order. You're going to waste all that time, money, effort doing something that's just not right. It's not going to work like that. So take your time. Sometimes these guys are different teams. Your wall guy and your electrician are probably different corporations, different companies. But they have to work together. We have disasters. We have goals we set, but we have things that come in, such as disasters, such as transitioning. You can't say anything about weather. You just can't. Let's take Walt Disney, for example. He had a goal. He had a vision in mind. But what he did was build something such as a firm foundation. He built that foundation and he had it nice and firm. He did not see what we see today and call Disneyland and Walt Disney and all that good stuff. But he structured it up in a way that the ones that came after him was able to keep his legacy going. It wasn't hard for them to figure out what was going on because he had a strong, firm foundation. All the next team was to come to do was implement that foundation. So different teams have to work together. So when you're building a building, your plumbers got to come in and plumb it up correctly. Because if they don't, the plumbing can get into the electricity, it can cause a problem, a big disaster. So when you're in this mindset talking about hurry up, this is a 0 level. You're like on the first floor. So the people on the third and maybe the 151st floor, they'll flush the toilet and you just going to get pooped on. And now you're going to have to take your time and clean that up. You know, everything takes time. We have a nice leader who done sat back and told you, keep doing what you're doing. All you have to do is stay engaged. Make sure you're up to the point to where we are up to, so that as we move on, you'll be just right there, because nobody want to leave you behind. This is not the design. Let's leave X, Y, and Z behind. No, but nobody's also going to drag you. We're not going to force you, to be in the position you've chosen to be in. You chose this position, and your instructions are to listen carefully. Listen, implement the ideas. So if you have a whole lot of time, take your time to be an Onpassivedian encyclopedia. Onpassovedia. And this way you can teach people about OTracker. You have time. You got time to complain. You can share this thing. Share OnPassive. Learn about ONet. Share ONet. Learn about OTrim. Share OTrim. You have time. You got time to complain. You have time to share. Because this is building yourself. Building your knowledge. Build, build, build. Because the team leader said, prepare for the greatest shape of your life. And on that note, KK, peace.